Okay, let's see if I can make a video kind of explaining what I do. So I've recently gotten used to using software, which is very capable. I'm able to select different rows of clips to play over each other, and that can, then I use this guy as a way to control the software. So I got 3 clips kind of loaded up there. That's the first one, that's the second one, and that adds in the third one. It's quite a bit kind of going on already. With the software, I'm able to not only add effects, mirror images, kaleidoscope images, etc., but apply different effects via the controller here. So like I got this knob here, you can't tell right now because everything is mirrored that I just added a fractalizer. But if I turn this guy up, we get a whole lot of really cool kind of fractals going on with that. And then I can have those move around in different ways as well. I can, for instance, shape out just the edges of things. I can just change the color on the spot. I can make it all wavy and wobbly. And I can add like weird ripples and stuff. There's so much more I can do with it, but that's what I have it set up to do right now, and create trails. So it has like this after image effect. Of course, mixing these in different interesting ways can get many different interesting results. I'm also now able to use the DJ logos so that their name is up and about when they're playing. That's a quick thing of the software. On top of that, I have hardware. So this guy, Entropy and Sons Recursion Studio, which is a fantastic name. Recursion is, say you were to take a camera and have the output of that camera pointed at a TV screen, and it would kind of create a feedback loop, and you'd get this infinite Hall of Mirrors effects. Well, that's what this guy's kind of all about. I have him going into here as a selectable video feed. So that's kind of what he's doing right now. A very fractalized device with a lot of customability to it. And I'm able to make all this audio reactive as well. And then over here, this is part of the auto reactive side of things. I'm not using this guy right now. He's a composite analog color synthesizer. He does some interesting things, but I won't be able to show you. I also am not really using this guy. This guy's been my main guy for the last 1.5 years, but he's kind of outclassed at the moment with this, and I don't really have him integrated yet. That said, I know it's a whole lot of cables and a whole lot of wires, etc. What I'm doing is I'm taking the signal of a audio output, usually from the DJs. That's running into a filter. A filter I can use to cut off the top end of the frequency spectrum or the low end for like the bass. And what I end up doing with it is I cut it actually into 2 parts, that high end and low end, and then I send those frequencies through what's called an envelope follower. It's going to take the audio signal, and that audio signal is going up and down really fast, and it's going to turn it into a control voltage, so just a signal voltage that moves along with that audio signal to create kind of a what's the word? Yeah, just a simple up-down kind of parameter. Now that up-down parameter is going really, really fast, and therefore it makes things kind of janky. So what I end up doing here is I end up using something called a slew or attenuator. Attenuator would be like to cut off how high that can go, and then a slew would be to slow down how fast that changes, so that way I'm able to make something that's more smooth in its reactivity. Then that goes into mults. Mults are just multipliers. They just take one signal and they split it into 4 or 5 signals. I run that through another slew in case I need to slow it down a bit more. Then that gets sent to this guy. He turns the control voltage, which is an analog voltage, into MIDI, which is a musical interface data information system that you can use to control electronic instruments to tell it what to do from something that's not on the instrument itself. So you can control devices with this. I'm having that affect currently 5 different parameters, changing different things like movement, color changes, zooming in and out, and I can apply these to any parameter I can really think of, including my effects. So I can have it so that, you know, when the bass hits, everything becomes a kaleidoscope, for instance. That guy is telling both this unit and my computer how to make some of those movements change. And then I'm also able to have it tell this guy to do it, but I don't have that really set up yet. I gotta learn a little bit more about that. The other thing that I have going on is it's going into a joystick, and I can use this joystick to control elements of this guy as well. It takes that signal, and I get to essentially change the depth and strength of that signal with this. So it doesn't really do anything on its own, but if I turn on some music, I'm able to change a lot of things with that. So I'm going to press play here. And you can see it's a little spastic. I have to kind of fine tune some things there, but as I adjust the joystick, I'm able to get kind of wildly different results depending on where that joystick is located. Now, of course, this is where I would maybe bring in some other parts, and I can get this cool kind of pumping image. If I turn a bit of that down, turn that up a little bit. And then, you know, the fun thing about this is I get to mix it all live. I don't just press play and walk away. I get to make everything on the spot. And I have a bunch of different aesthetics I like to kind of use for that. Yeah, so that's kind of a quick overview of what I kind of do. Using a laptop and software is very new for me. I was just using hardware before, and that was really fun, but it was also a headache. So now that I'm using software, everything is a lot smoother. My performances are going to be more time of me making cool things and less time shaking my fist at things, wanting it to work right. But, you know, for big events and raves and stuff like that, if you go down south and you go to any type of rave, they always have visuals going on. We didn't have anyone up here doing it, and this is what I'm doing now. And I'm at a point where quite a bit of my stuff is actually looking pretty professional. I quite like these statuesque aesthetics I have going on. I think they're some of the better looking stuff that I'm doing. So as the bass hits, screen starts to get a little bit more alive. Once again, I can kaleidoscope that. Add some ripples and stuff. Cut out to just the edges, etc. There's so much I can do, and I'm really only starting to scratch the surface of like what's really available at my fingertips now that I'm using software. Anyways, that's a 9 or so minute video of just a quick explanation of what all this stuff does and how I use it to make some cool fun.